Hello, this is a correspondence game played on OGS between two of my students, and both are very close to done level. Here white won by resignation, killing the top left group, but actually the last move is not necessary, so white probably just wanted to be super cautious keeping the lead, but white could capture 4 more stones in this area, and even if black pushes inside, white will block, and then there is no room to build any eyes in the middle. White is super thick there. White was already winning the game without killing the top left. That was actually based on the blunder a few moves before. Around here, when white attacks the 2 stones, black can just Atari, give up the 2 stones and then connect. Or push once, and if white blocks, black is already connected, and if white connects this way, black comes back and connects the group. But white is already slightly ahead, so this is not going to affect the outcome of the game. Let's check it out from the beginning. So we have 2 Komokus by black versus 2 star points of white. Then black attacks the bottom side. Now here black would attack the top, either f17 or simply make a Shimari at p17. The idea is that black is having this Komoku in the top right, facing the top left direction where white already got the stone. So for black it's quite a priority to make a Shimari in the top, like p17, instead of taking the Shimari on the bottom, q5 or r5. The reason is, if black goes for a corner enclosure in the lower side, white is very happy to attack p16 or p17 because the direction of play it's really good coming from d16. We will see that in the game. So let's just go over the basic Joseki here. As a direction of play, this is very nice for white to develop towards d16 corner. Now, if black has a Shimari in the top right corner, like p17 for example, and white attacks the lower right corner, now white has to struggle to fight inside black's sphere of influence on the right. So black can attach and play the same thing, but already black can apply more pressure on this group compared to the other development where white will set up a moyo. So as a general idea, you want to play moves to make your opponent struggle a bit more. So playing f17 and then choose, for example, a mini Chinese formation at l17, or play one of the Shimaris, p16, o16, o17. It's a bit better as a direction compared to developing the bottom side. So here white can defend calm. If black extends back, then white immediately attacks the top right corner. But the actual game, black went for the Shimari at q6. So it's still more interesting to take the Shimari in the top right corner, for the obvious reasons. But it's still a big move to play something like q6. Anyway, for black now the priority is to get the middle extension at k4, but white is going to attack the top right corner, and that's fine, because white really wants to attack from the d16 corner. So black defends with a classic attach. Black can speed up a little bit, playing a pincer like n17, and there are all kind of Josekis here. Let's say black goes for this pretty basic one. So this way black develops both in the top and the right side, and on the right side it looks nice to have an extension at r10, which is in a good relationship with q6. But anyway, taking the attach to secure the corner is the most common Joseki for black, and it's pretty good. Now white played a little bit impatient here. This is a hasty move, and normally the way to attack on the right side it's r8, but it's really not necessary to go right away. White is not behind in this position, so white needs to be more patient. First of all, white can finish up the Joseki with o16 or n16. It's very big for black to cut at o16, so white shouldn't allow that happening. Therefore, playing the hanging connection or the solid connection, it's quite a priority. Usually black will extend r14, and now white can think about either to end the Joseki in the top at j17, but if white wants to play a bit more active, he can go, for example, k4 and just tenuki in the top. But on the right side, it's not necessary to play r6 attach. The way to approach it's r8, because if black doubles up the corner r6 or s6, white has space to extend up to r11. Now if black plays a pincer, there are ways to leave in the corner. For example, simply jump r5 or r4 and then connect under. This is a very simple way to fix or settle the group on the right side. Now there's also the option to play the attached q4, where black can hane up or hane down. So usually these are the moves to follow up from this r8. Jump r5, then hane. Black can go for a moyo this way, but anyway, white will leave on the side. Um, Also, on this move, when black hane, white will go down, black will push along, white can hane and the hanging connection. This creates some cutting points, so black has to fix that, and white can just add another move to keep the shape on the right side. I mean, to keep the group safe. But if white plays away, even if black goes s6, white has the clamp and connects under. But now it's a little more dangerous, because black has a lot of stones around this group. But anyway, it's not a big rush for white to play anything like r8 or something on the right side when it's super big to connect in the top o16 and simply extend like this or like this to finish the joseki. Then when black goes k3, now white should consider moves like r8 to reduce the potential moyo. So here already black should punish white. The hane at r5, it's a natural move to keep the corner, but in this case, black can also think about r7, because even if white comes inside and black protects this way or covers, white has to struggle to live inside the corner, and black will profit on the outside, and black's priority here should be to take sente in order to cut o16 and punish white for not finishing the joseki. So if something like this happens and white plays, for example, r4, black can hane, white comes out, black will nobi, white pushes along, black can atari once, then nobi or hane. Let's say just nobi, then hane, then escape. And actually black will build the bottom side while attacking this group a little bit. So let's say something like this happens, then black cuts, extends, and just goes for a huge moy on the right side. So this way white is already punished, because white entered r6, it didn't get much, just barely survived with the invasion, but black ended up cutting the top and build a huge right side moyo, and also kind of settled the bottom. So this would be a bit more aggressive, r7, try to suffocate white right away. But it's nothing wrong to play r5, and here the actual move is a descent at s6, but in fact white is supposed to pull back at r7. Now if black connects solid, white extends again for a base, and then black can cut in the top. If black goes down, which is also fine to apply more pressure on the group, white will turn first and then extend it even further, but this gives a bigger territory for black in the lower right corner, and again black should cut here. This cut is really huge, and black needs to take it fast in order to punish white for the joseki variation in the top. So white went down, and now black connects q5. Black should actually nobi here to put pressure on these stones. And if we think about q5 it's a move to prevent the cut. I mean, it's just a defense against the cut, but that cut wouldn't work anyway. I mean, if black plays away and white cuts, black has the ladder right away, so white is not going to cut. But in order to put pressure on the two stones, black should simply get ahead, because now white can do, it's a turn, and then extend one space jump or two space jump. So luckily this is already a lot of pressure on white. Besides, black can approach r11 with the plan to take away the base at s8. So if white comes out here, black will go s8 and then connect under. Here many Q players make a mistake to push and then try to escape, but in this case you're not going to connect under, but you gotta sacrifice the two stones to separate the stone in the middle. But in this case you better just push, and if white plays s7 you bump, and then white needs to connect, so now the entire group is on the run. But it's really urgent to cut in the top. So black lost an opportunity to punish white more. Instead, black played a slack move, disconnection, so white can just play a two space jump and fix the base. White played a hane, and black plays away. Against this hane, it's natural to play a hane on top, push again, and then just extend the bottom. So all of a sudden, black has a huge moyo in the bottom area. But still, black should think about the cut in the top. So one Hane is enough, and then cut. Or if you don't want to cut, maybe later in the game, sorry, you don't want to Hane here, as black, you can think about R8 to put a lot of pressure on white's group. So when white connects, you can go out with Kosumi, and white is on the run. And this is also a good way to increase the bottom potential while chasing. But the Hane is really natural, because for white it's really good to go up to p7 and erase the potential on the bottom. So play a Hane, maybe push one more. You can also wait a little bit with this second push. Cut in the top, still very big. And of course, extend back to k4. So black shouldn't tenuki all the way here. Now white defends, but white can still finish up the Joseki at n16. Then black extends for a base, and now white can finish the Joseki pincering the stone in the top. If black goes inside the corner, white has a very nice moyo in the top, and can also Nobi in the middle here. It's super important to take this Nobi and prevent the Hane for white. So back to the original game. White plays very calm. Black extends for a base. Black can still cut here. Now white extends too, but for white it's interesting to play some kind of sabaki move, like O14. Because now if white plays either N16 or O16 and black extends, the extension is going to be a little bit cramped. So white's formation is over concentrated or korigatachi. Therefore, in this case, just play something like a keima, and it's already a sabaki. So Hane, push, and extend back, and the game is very balanced again. Now here, black should still cut, because when white pulls back and black extends, white's formation in the top is again over concentrated, and white should come out with this kind of move. But black doesn't have to take any action anymore, so either play the Hane or peep and attack the right side. So here we have the peep, white covers, which is fighting spirit, black pulls back, white needs to connect. White can push along and then play a Hane and a double Hane. Even if white loses the two stones on the right side, he gets a lot of thickness on the outside, which is worth it, because there's not so much territory taking those two stones. So in this case, quite a nice idea to play this keima, but black can just turn or play a two-space jump. Now with this keima, black is actually thinking to sacrifice the two stones, or at least he should have. So it's better to block. Then when white cuts, simply give him the two stones. Anyway, white worked hard to capture them, so in the end it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7 points in this area. Then cut again in the top and extend. So this box here, it's worth more than the two stones sacrificed. So in the future, should really consider this kind of sacrifice in a similar position. Because now when white pushes through and black cuts Q11, white is going to cut R11, and it's a bit harder to sacrifice 3 stones. I mean, you might feel a bit reluctant to give them. Therefore, this happened in the game also. So black didn't block, but protected the 3 stones. And now when white pushes again, it's a pity that this p10 is going to be lost, because white's wall is just going to be too strong. So playing a move like this, if you don't make it useful, this kind of p10, then it's going to backfire. That's why you gotta discard the stones on the side. So now Nobi, then connect, white pushes along, and here white overplayed a bit with the clamp. Should just Hane and then connect, because this wall it's strong enough, and the territory on the right side it's not that large for black. Playing a move like this, it's wishful thinking. White really hopes that black is going to play R14 so he can Atari on the outside, and this happened in the game. But black should play with fighting spirit and go up. If white cuts, Atari and capture the 2 stones. If white goes down, black can connect or even turn once, because when white cuts, black will Hane and capture faster. So on the turn, white needs to play an empty triangle. Then black will connect, and now there is still a cutting point at O16, which is dangerous. And then black can jump in the middle. So now all of a sudden, this potential, this wall, becomes a thin group. White is on the run also. So this will show more fighting spirit to go up at p13. White's overplay was unpunished, and it turned out a good exchange to play the clamp and Atari. But normally white should Hane and then connect like this or like this. So white got away with the overplay here, and overplayed unpunished are great Suji. This shoulder hit is questionable. White can kick and then put pressure with this schema. And normally when you play a shoulder hit like this, after black defends, white doesn't have to come back. White should continue with an attach at f16. Now for white it's not necessary to play anything there. I mean, one kick would be enough, because it's more interesting to pincer the bottom side at j3. So if you look all over the board, black has something like 20 points on the right side, then a tiny base in the top which is 6 to 8 points, let's say. This corner roughly 10 points because it's open at s4, but okay, it has some power towards the left. So altogether black has like 35 secure points, and if we just take like 2 points for each stone in the wall, we can say that white builds easily 10 to 12 points here, a few points in the top, so like 20 altogether. Then each corner it's about 15 plus the komi, so white already has a better opening. But earlier, a few moves before, black looked like in going to have a hopeful position, especially with this cut at 0.16. So the tables were turned very quickly. Then white pulls back here, which is a bit soft, because white is really trying to get this middle working, and a move like f16 has much more power, because if black leaves in the corner or in the top this way, white extends once to d10, and all of a sudden it's a huge moy on the left side. So playing like this allows a tiger mount, and it feels good for black. This is a large point, but in the top it's quite urgent to slide the d18. That's a flexible move, and also a jump in the center at g14, it's important. But yeah, k4 it's a large point, white plays a cap. Black is trying to get inside the moyo with this step, but it's more interesting to play g14 still. Playing a move here, white can just play O-game to try to connect. When black pushes, white Hane, when turn, Nobi. There's a better connectivity between n7 and k6 than n8 and k6. Now, these two stones, they can be separated either at m or l7. So let's see. Yeah, black can just play here. So when white pushes like this, black will separate the bottom stone. Or black can do this. When white goes here, you simply connect to the other stones. So that's why it's not so great to play n8. But still, black should come from the top. So this cut, but that can be a minus. Yeah, this cut is good actually. And now capture the stone in the top. Yeah, there was some agi here, so white is playing very solid and cautious. And instead of Nobi, it's still better to play the one space jump, because if white tries to cut it, Atari from the left, and connect with a hanging connection, so black is getting ahead even more. This is a bit heavy. The jump would be deeper and more flexible. This shoulder hit is good. Then the one space jumps should be towards the middle, because this is a way to try to connect with your bottom stones like f3 and k4. On the left side there's not so much to do, but still a lot of empty space. So jump to the left instead. White is trying to build his middle, attacking these stones on the left. But for white it's interesting to attack from d11, because when black comes out, white can also lean on the bottom area and separate those stones. This is a very sneaky move. If black tries to connect, white has the wedge here or on top. Let's say the bottom one, then counter Atari, then Atari again, and if black cuts to fight the ko, white will capture, and this is going to be a very heavy ko. It's a do or die ko, and it's very difficult for black to find ko threats right now. So black extends, white tries to build the center and reduce the left side. Here the way to connect is to play Kosumitsuke. Now if white Nobi here, simply block and the left side is settled. But it's true white is going to build a little more in the middle. But this is dangerous. I mean, if white plays an attach, he's going to separate the stones on the left from the top. So white secures the corner again. Black comes inside. And here black starts to build a pretty nice moyo in the center, but then white managed to penetrate. White's invasion at h3 is really good. Black has to play the bump at g3. Even if white goes m3 and then n2, this shows more fighting spirit. If black plays here to put a lot of pressure on the group, white has to capture the bottom stone, but now black will compensate in the corner. So this way, white invasion was successful, but black also got back some points with the c3 invasion. So playing like this, white actually can push g3, then black covers, and white has a clamp to connect under. And this way, white stones build more points on the bottom and the corner. If black resists here with a descent, white will cut, and white wins the semi. This doesn't work. In the end, there is one eye versus no eye, so there is no way for black to Atari from below. So white defends like this, black bumps, then white tries to connect under, black should push right away. If white tries to link under, it's going to be a disaster, Atari and catch. So white's option is to connect here or to play a hanging connection, then black can push in the corner and white still needs another move to leave. Therefore, again, black compensates breaking the corner. If white plays here and answers all these forcing moves, black hits the vital point, then turns. And now this is a dead group. So white's invasion, it's punished now. Therefore, it was really good to push through at f2. Another option for white is to go down g1 and then leave like this, which is also painful. And again, black can compensate in the corner. But should really push at f2 first and then separate the middle. So now white it's alert and connects. These are pretty big moves. For black it's very large to block at f5. And then when white hane, you hane also and just go down to keep everything connected in this area. So now the game would be quite close. White comes in, but the right move is this one, threatening to cut the two stones. If black just keeps the center like this, white can catch two stones, but it's not that large right now. More interesting to play moves like a slide on the left side and later cut. So here black pushed and cut, and now black gives back the stone, but black should really connect and fight harder. If white cuts, we have a double Atari and catch two stones like this or like this. Then of course white will try some magic on the left side, but if he doesn't manage to rescue all the stones here, white is still okay. Sorry, black I mean. This can happen. So black can still keep most of the territory in the middle. But like this, it's done. White captures, black covers, white comes inside. So that's a pity. Black can play here first, threatening a ko. White needs to protect, push one time, white blocks, and then turn. If white cuts here, you just ladder him. Playing like this is a defense in advance where it's not even necessary and white can catch two stones anytime, but push here is bigger. So actually for black it's interesting to play this move, threatening the ko, push once and then cover. If white peeps, you connect and that's it. I mean, white saved those stones, but you manage to take back the tail. So white pushes, then cuts, pull back, okay. This one, it's proper to defend with a Kosumi, less Aji. Otherwise white can still try some nasty moves like c11. So now white managed to go out with that leader tail. Ouch. Yeah, you can cut because of the nose Tetsuji. And there's not so much to do. In fact, yeah, this connection was good. That's fine too. Oh. White can push again, connect, then push through. Or simply connect. Then if black connects, white turns or leaves the position like this. Similar to what happened in the game. This bump is strange. So for black it's more interesting to play Kosumitsuke here or this one then when white blocks, the other one, and white connects. So black keeps the top side connected, also pushing center, but territory wise, I think white is still okay. This center got pretty small, and white's center territory is quite large. Also, the corners are very big and comey, so white has the first chance to win the game now. Here, white can go down or just block like this, but actually the descent is slightly better. No, I think I'm wrong. The block is better because of the descent at 018. So on this move, Atari, Atari, and connect. So this bump, it's really not so impressive. Or don't play anything. These are center moves. So, oh, this capture is not necessary. So let's say black plays where push here in center, then connect like this. If white comes down, you don't block on the right to get captured, but block on the left because it's 1, 2, 3 against 2. So when white plays here, just capture 2 stones. Therefore, it's not necessary to capture and defend in advance. You gotta read out what happens when white descends. So that's pretty much it. This is the last unforced error or fatal error. Black should really Atari from the outside and connect. So all in all, I think white played this hasty move at r6 in a very early stage of the game. That shouldn't happen. I mean, it's okay to keep calm and patient, especially when you play white. And black didn't take advantage of this overplay in order to get an early lead. So the cut at 016 was really important for black, and also the way to handle this fight on the right side to put more pressure on white. Then later on it was quite difficult to come back, but there was a little chance in this area in the middle left, but it got vanished quickly when white managed to connect these stones around f5. So better luck next time for black, but overall a pretty exciting game by both. So enjoy the review, and hopefully we'll see you soon at the done level.